big round of applause to for him.
Today coincides with International Day of Happiness. Thank you for mentioning that, sir. Which was founded by Jamie Elliott, with a coalition of 193 UN representatives led by my father, Dr. G.R.E.A.T, and Secretary General Ban Ki-moon in 2012. It was first celebrated in 2013 and is being celebrated every year thereafter. Today also coincides with the Persian New Year, Nowruz, which is celebrated worldwide by the Persian people who gather together to observe the rituals. That has been celebrated for over 3,000 years. Nowruz is on the day of the vernal equinox, which is the moment when the sun crosses the celestial equator and equalizes night and day. Today is also my eldest son's 10th birthday. So what better day than today to talk about happiness and how we can be happy. Mahatma Gandhi once said, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do is in harmony. And the smaller the gap between what you should do and what you actually do, the happier you will be. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Cardinals, most welcome guests. Today, I'm going to talk to you about one of the happiest days of my life and how we could all live the great dream. It's August 2005. I'm standing at the gates to God's house, Mecca, in Saudi Arabia. I look and I see in front of me the vast King Abdullah gates. As I pass through these gates, I see the cubic centerpiece, the Kaaba, which all Muslims regard as the house of God and which we all pray towards. On the corner of this cubic centerpiece, there sits, embedded within it, within the sacred structure which precedes Abraham and Jesus Christ, a black stone that is said to have been gifted by the angel Gabriel to the Prophet Muhammad. It is said that touching this black stone will bring blessings, and whatever you ask for will be granted. However, to get to this stone, you have to pass through thousands of people who are all clamoring to touch and pray in front of this stone. I attempted several times. However, I had no joy, as the waves of people proved too great to pass through. I decided to focus on making my prayers, giving to those less fortunate, and being happy that I was there in this utopia and holiest of places. On the fourth day of my pilgrimage, I sat in front of the Kaaba, meditating and reading. The swallows that swirled above suddenly went silent. They could no longer be seen in the sky above. It was time for afternoon prayers. It was like time stood still, and there everything went into slow motion. As we finished afternoon prayers, I felt myself being drawn towards the black stone. So I decided to make one more attempt. And immediately, as I stepped forward, I was carried away by the current of pilgrims who were all moving and making the same attempt. I couldn't turn back now, as the current was carrying me towards the stone with ease. I reached out, and I was there, standing in front of the stone, touching it, and I could smell the sweetest of smells. And as I stood there for what felt like an eternity, I prayed for the deceased in my family. I prayed for the living in my family, for forgiveness, for blessings. And I felt an electric shock come over me. And I was overcome with tears of joy as I was carried away by the current. Happiness was heavenly. And I could never have been any happier than in that moment. We often hear that happiness is a choice and that we can choose to be happy. However, I agree with Mahatma Gandhi. Happiness is the harmony between what you think or what you expect, what you say, and what you do. And as part of International Day of Happiness, I encourage you all to live the great dream. Giving, relating, exercising, awareness, trying out, direction, resilience, emotions, acceptance, and meaning. Maya Angelou says, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Live the great dream. Be the great dream. And the great dream will come to you. Madam Tosma.